So if you're someone like me who always wanted to get into the FPV game, but never really had the chance to do it for whatever reason, now might be the perfect time. If you're not new to this channel, you probably know by now that I just love taking some epic drone shots, and I like to think that I'm quite good at it as well. I always like to fly close to the ground or close to all the different objects that I have in my shots, and FPV was actually something that I wanted to try for a few years now, but I just never had a chance to do it until now. Now I finally took some time and decided to start flying the FPV. Thanks to this little guy right here. This is the brand new DJI AVATA, a palm-sized FPV drone with a built-in propeller guard that can shoot up to 4K 60 videos in a D-Cine-like picture profile. It uses the same remote controller as the DJI FPV, but comes with completely new updated goggles, which I really like. They are smaller, lighter, very comfortable to use, and they just look super cool. I mean, look at this. So I was completely new to the whole FPV thing until now, and it only took me like 3 days to start flying and take shots like this. Don't get me wrong, I'm still far from where I want to be, and I'm not saying that I'm a professional FPV pilot already, because trust me, I'm not. I'm still a newbie when it comes to FPV, but I'm really happy with how fast I was able to take shots like this. I always felt like something was missing in my videos, and getting into the FPV was actually something that I wanted to do for so long now. But I just couldn't find the time to do it, as it can be really hard to choose all the right components, to assemble all the pieces together, and make sure they're all compatible, to find the perfect race, to tune everything and start flying your own FPV drone from scratch. And with this you don't need to do all that. You just take it out of the box and fly. The reason I was able to take all these shots after only 3 days of practicing is not because I'm really good at it. Well, it might be. But it's mainly because of all the safety features that this drone has. I know that if I were to fly a custom-built FPV drone, I would crash it immediately, there's no two ways about it. But with DJI FPV drones, I have the luxury to just hit the emergency button or just switch it back to normal mode if I'm in trouble. And I know that this thing will come back home by itself if it loses the signal. So this is by far the best feature in this drone, having the ability to just hit the emergency button or just switch it back to normal mode. And it's also the reason why it's so easy to start flying the FPV drone these days, even for people like me who are new to the FPV. You can also just fly it in normal mode like any other drone, so there's no need to carry 2 drones with you, and that's a big advantage for me. It's ready to fly out of the box, and it comes with DJI's own flight simulator app, so you have everything organized in just one place. It couldn't get any easier than that. So the first thing, obviously, you need to get an FPV drone, and whether that's the good old DJI FPV or the brand new DJI AVATA, the learning process is identical. And it starts with practicing in the simulator and getting used to it, because it's completely different from flying a normal drone.
Whoa. Let's try this. Yeah.
There are a lot of different simulators out there. The one that I use is actually an app that you can easily install on your iPhone, and it's called DJI Virtual Flight app. It's so easy to use, and it has all the tutorials that you need to start flying an FPV drone in full manual mode or Acro mode. And the experience that you get later when flying in real world is very similar to what you get in the app. I suggest starting in normal mode or in sport mode, which is the same but just faster, so you can just get used to it. And then move to manual mode once you feel more confident. There are also two things to keep in mind when flying FPV, and the first is that taking off is different if you're flying in normal mode or in manual mode. That's why I suggest following all the steps in the DJI Virtual Flight app and to first start practicing in normal mode at least for a few minutes. And the second is the angle of the camera. In FPV, the pitch of the camera will determine directly the speed at which your drone is flying. So the greater the tilt of the camera, the faster your drone will fly. If you want to fly in manual mode, the first thing that you need to do is to adjust the throttle stick on the remote controller, so it doesn't bounce back and forth, as this will directly determine your speed when flying. All you need to do is to just tighten down the F1 and the F2 screws, and that's it. One of the best things about DJI FPV drones is that you don't need to learn how to take off or how to land it safely in full manual mode. And yes, landing is something you need to train a lot if you want to do it safely in full manual mode. But with DJI FPV drones, you don't necessarily need to do that. You can just take off in normal mode, switch to manual in flight, and then switch back to normal once you're done and land it safely like any other drone. I was too afraid to use the remote controller on my first flight outside, so I just used the motion controller instead. And I must say it was so much fun and so much easier than I expected. It's so easy and so intuitive to fly that you can just do it without any training. It's exactly like playing a video game. So after the first successful flight, I got back home and started to train again for like 2 or 3 hours, and I completely fell in love with this new experience. I locked myself up in the simulator for the next week and tried to get better at it every single day. No, I didn't. Instead, I booked the next flight to...
Pronti?
Passengers for flight GA642.
Malata.